Hey there, guys. It's Mia here, and I am so excited. I am so excited about this live topic today. I am excited about it. I just finished the Giant Experience Master Training this past weekend, and I always love when I have the opportunity to get in front of smart and sharp and fully capable women who are implementers, go getters, and who believe in self investment to change their life. Now, this weekend, one of the things that we learned was that one of the attendees over the course of the 3 days came to the Giant Experience during COVID. And I want to share that with you today. Today's topic is how one decision to invest $1,248 using a coupon code literally yielded over $2 million in revenue 4.5 years later, up to 4.5 years later. So I'm Mia Redrick, business and life consultant, and I got started my company over 20 plus years ago. And I very much like you made a decision to package what I knew. I was really great at what I do. I know how to take any idea and structure it into a training or system or via licensing or a course. And I just thought I could do that for myself. I wasn't exactly sure how, all the fundamentals when I decided to start my business, but I launched. And as a result of launching, I changed my life. And today, what I do is support other women who equally want to package their years of experience, their expertise, their education, their giftedness, their background, their zone of genius into a structure that they can sell. And I built a framework that is proven. Hundreds of women have used the systems that I've created, and many of them have changed their life forever. So whether changing their life means that they were able to quit their jobs and run their companies full time, or whether it meant that they were able to create a transition plan for themselves and are emotional in that, or whether it's that they've been able to supplement their income, it's changed their life. And I want you to know that your gifts will make room for you. All right. And today's live is all about that. Now, coming off of a weekend, I'm super fired up because it gives me the opportunity to work firsthand with women who want it. And one of the women that attended the Giant Experience Master Training, they all were fabulous. I've worked with her for the last 4.5 years in many capacities. And she shared something that I didn't know. I was shocked, actually. And because I didn't know that she had created significant success. I knew that she had created multiple six-figure success, but I didn't realize that her company had done over $2 million in the last 4.5 years. Now, I'm going to tell you the story just as I came to understand it. Essentially, when she came to the Giant Experience Master Training online from the comfort of her home, it was during COVID. And during that time, her job had let her go, and she actually did not have the resources to pay the full price for my master training. Lean into this, okay? And she said yes to herself anyway. And I was running a special at the time and gave her a coupon code so she could get half off. And as a result of her saying yes to herself, using the money that she didn't have to invest in herself for a solution, within 2 weeks of attending the master training, she closed her very first deal for $25,000 as a consultant. And that's such a huge deal. She went on from there to that year to do over six figures with the same contract because it kept getting extended to do over six figures. And it's gone on and on and on over there. And we continued to work together over and over again. And she shared was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday that her company actually has brought in over $2 million in revenue in the last 4.5 years. Now, this is all from her saying yes when she did not feel she was ready. Now, here are 3 things that we can learn from her story. And I love stories like this because a lot of the women that I work with are very much like this young woman. She's Ivy League trained, super smart and sharp, a leader in her field, in her industry, a go-to expert. She's been featured on national television shows. She's also had the opportunity to speak, at the White House. And she's done some really significant things in her business that have been stand out for her over the course of the years as a result of her implementing. But when she started, none of that existed. When she started, she was starting from a place of what she did not have, right? She didn't have a secure income because her job had let her go because it was COVID. She was in transition during a time during COVID when a lot of folks didn't know what they were going to do, but she made what I call a powerful decision. So here are three things that we can learn from her story. And I hope as a result of you hearing this story today, that maybe it will speak to you directly and you'll take an action that'll change your life. Number one, I think the most important thing to understand is that this was not about the coupon that she used. It was about her courage. So often I meet women who need to show up brave for themselves, to be courageous for themselves. You know that you want to change your life. You know that you want to start a business. And sometimes we just don't believe bigger for ourselves enough to take that action, enough to make the investment, enough to give the dream that's inside of our hearts and mind a chance. And when I heard her story, I thought, man, this is a story that is I hear throughout the year when we are speaking with women who are thinking of taking a journey with me and wanting to work with me and my systems, and they've seen all the results of the hundreds of women who have shared how their lives have changed by following my step-by-step processes, and yet they don't move. And the difference here is that she didn't have the money, but she had faith in herself. She had courage in herself. She decided that if she didn't change what she was doing, her life would never change. She took a risk for herself. She bet on herself. And what I also love about this is, when women are working with me, they do have to commit to themselves typically for high ticket, because what I show them how to do is how to take their own businesses, their own knowledge and background experience, and how to package it to sell for $2,500 or more. And that is not a $97 solution. So I love the fact that while she couldn't do the full investment, because I was offering at that time a special, which was still significant, $1,000 more, she said yes. She didn't expect to create change, significant change in her life, investing in a $97 solution. And I hope that as a result of you hearing me, you understand that, listen, if you want to change where you are right now, you want to go from having the idea of packaging what you do to having that package created and priced properly and on the market and knowing how to get in front of your buyers, you're going to have to invest in a full solution. And it's likely not going to be a $97 or $497 thing. I'm just telling you. Okay. And I think that's something that we can learn from her story. She went from making a small investment to, in 4.5 years, being able to generate over $2 million in revenue in her company. And that's significant. And in order to do that, she had to have courage. Sometimes it's about just being able to believe the thing you cannot see for yourself. And, a lot of the women that I work with, they might not believe it for themselves, but they've seen the hundreds of testimonials at the Giant Experience, website, giantexperience.com, and they know it's real. So they believe the women. They say, I am her. And I might not know how to get myself here, but I know that Mia's gotten these folks here. They all cannot be lying. You're not going to have hundreds of women, 4 hours of video of women sharing their story of how this has been a transformational experience for them to package their knowledge, find their niche, and finally get a systematic process on how to monetize their intellect and all of their years of experience. It takes courage, right, to stand up for yourself, to believe in yourself, and to show up. Number 2, she didn't feel ready, but she made the decision anyway. And I'm talking directly to you. So where you're sitting right now, you might not feel ready. It's summertime. You're thinking about going to the pool, going on vacation, the kids coming out of school. If you have children, you might be thinking about the projects you have at work. But I want you to understand this, that had she not said yes to herself in that moment, okay, 4.5 years later, as a result of making one powerful choice after the next, because one powerful choice can change your life and the trajectory of your choices. And that's what happened for her. Is this making sense? You guys getting me? I get fired up around it because the reality is that a lot of times we don't realize that poor choices yield more poor choices. When we don't show up for ourselves tall in our decision making and make a decision that scares us, hang from the skinny branch, right? Which is, I want to package what I'm doing. I want to be this thought leader. I want to create impact in the world with my gifts and my talents. And we go from wanting it to doing it. Okay. Our lives change, right? As a result of it. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it. And the reality is that a lot of people stay in that mode of, I might, next time. And you know what? The next time never happens. When she shared this with us, okay, and my clients who were there, I'm just speaking to it, just telling you guys exactly what happened because it's what happened. Because I did not know that she had earned $2 million. Her company had earned $2 million in the last four and a half years. Now, take the example I just showed you earlier. She didn't have the money to invest in a Giant Experience Master Training. Her job had just let her go. It was during COVID. She had every reason not to make a powerful decision. She had every reason to choose a decision based on what she could see. But see, you can't elevate your life that way. The only way you elevate your life is you gotta make a choice that is where you want to be, right? Like the choice that you're making is facing fear head on. And when you face fear head on, you get to live with a completely different gift. And now, what we were talking about over the course of this weekend, and as a result of the consulting that we've been doing, she's been looking at another arm of her business to grow another, I think it was $1.2 million is the goal with this other level of consulting. See, now she believes even bigger in terms of what she wants to do. Then she was only thinking of, I want to package what I'm going to do. And she launched it within 2 weeks and sold $25,000. Imagine that. She invested roughly $1,000 and 2 weeks later made $25,000, turned that in over the course of the year into a 6-figure contract that went on and on and on, ended up in 4.5 years from the COVID experience, because we started working together in August of 2020, had closed over $2 million in her company. Now, will that work for everybody? No, because not everybody's going to have the courage to come up with the money. Okay. And I always tell clients, look, you got to find the money. You investing in the full solution in yourself is the greatest gift you could give someone. And I'm never going to have the conversation with you guys and be gentle around that, because for me, when I got started in my business years ago, I didn't have the money. I didn't know what I was going to do. So the only thing that I could do was invest in coaches that could show me the way. I could stand on their shoulders and learn from them step by step what I did not know how to do. And for me, it totally was the thing that sped up my learning curve. And if you've been holding on to your resources or investing in these things that are not the full solution, it is the reason why you stay exactly where you are. I'm going to post a link for the Giant Experience Master Training, and I'm going to post that here for you to see. Okay, right here. Okay, that's the link. Make sure you copy it right there. That's going to totally support you 100%. So make sure you watch it. And I'll also post inside of the, when we're done today, I'll post inside of the community as well, so that you can I'll post it here so that you can also grab it from the comment section. All right, here's the third thing you need to ask yourself. Are you circling your next level and talking yourself out of it? So a lot of times people are circling around their next level. They know what they want to do. They know where they want to be. If I say, where do you want to be 1 year from now? You might say, I want to be consistently earning 10K or more a month. You might say, I want to have my first 6-figure or more year. I might want to hit $500,000 or more a year. But you're circling around what you want to do. You know what you want to do, but a lot of times we talk ourselves out of it because we just don't see ourselves as we can be. And that's where coaching really comes in. That's why you've got to be in community with people your own ambition level and above. That's why it's so important to invest in the solution that is the answer for you. That's why it's important to say yes and then to figure it out. Because when you want to say yes, but you don't say yes with your action, with your money, with your resources, then you end up in the exact same place. And I want you to think about the things that you knew you should do, the things you knew you should have said yes to, the programs that you knew would be helpful for you, the coaching and the mentoring that you thought would be supportive for you, and yet you didn't move. You didn't do anything. And then 3 months later, you're in the exact same place, if not worse. Okay. And it's all because of you talking yourself out of it. And I can tell you that one of the things that I love is helping my clients to be in community with people that own ambition level and above who are capable of saying yes. There's something magical about being around other people who are doing the thing that you want to do that you think is impossible. Okay? Because their example for you will change everything. Now, I did post the link for the Giant Experience Master Training, and if it's something that resonates with you, for you, I want you to use the code Giant50. Just type in Giant50 when you go to the landing page, and you'll save 50%. So instead of investing $1,248.50 will be your price. So instead of investing $2,497, you get half off. Because I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I had more women like this woman? And I have had guys come through the training, but if you're a guy and you're listening to this and you're like, this is what I want to do, come on, okay? Because the thing is, the June and July class will get you there. And the way the master training works is you get 2 days of immersive coaching with me, where in real time we are implementing and you are doing the work, and I'm helping you to understand what is packageable about you, your intellect, your background, your skills, and your talents, how to monetize at the highest level what it is that you do. You learn how to package what you do at a high level. You learn how to price to value what you do for $2,500 or more. You learn how to market so you can attract the right buyer, not just people who are like, oh, I'm interested. And you also learn how to close and sell the way that I do, that's non-salesy. You know, the fact of the matter is, most of the women that I've worked with, most of the men that I've worked with, they've been underselling, over-delivering. They are the experts, but they don't know how to get paid for doing what they're doing. And if you're ready to change that trajectory, look, come on to the Giant Experience Master Training, www.thegiantexperience.com, and use the code GIANT50, right? Giant and then 50. Okay. And I'll type that here, Giant 50. And it'll change your life. You know, I wanted to come on here today because while that story shocked me, because I didn't know it was that amount of money and that her company has generated in revenue, her story is not the only story like that. I have a lot of clients who have come to me who have had great ideas, and they learned to trust themselves and trust me in the process. And they were implementers, and they decided to do the work, and they decided to make the investment. And they knew that they could never walk any client through a process that they themselves would not go. What I mean by that is, if you're wanting to sell something for $2,500 and you're not willing to invest $2,500 in yourself, it's the reason why your things are not selling. Okay. First of all, we have to have that mindset to invest in ourselves at the highest level so that we can step into that next version of whatever it is that we want for others to say yes to with us. So I hope that as a result of you hearing this today, it really has supported you in being able to say yes to yourself. I hope that this story inspires you to take an action. I hear these kind of stories all the time. And I hope that as a result of you hearing this story, that it gets you to think differently about who you are, what you do, who you bring. I hope it helps you to become courageous. I hope you will take an action today. Sign up for the master training because it'll change your life. I'm not certain how long I'm going to keep this coupon code up. And I'm also not certain how many people I'm going to let into the June and July class. So you know what? You have the opportunity right now, and you have the decision to choose yourself. Once you go to the page, the Giant Experience Master Training, you'll see for yourself firsthand the results that we've created. Ask yourself, when you look at those results, whether or not when you look at the page of the hundreds of women who have worked with me, whether or not their results are the kind of results that you personally can relate to, whether or not you can believe for yourself that that is what you deserve. I'll take amazing care of you. I hope that this has supported you today. I want to encourage you, if this has resonated in some way, if you've got a question for me, look, just inbox us, Giant, and we'll get right back to you and answer any question that you have. If you're wondering whether or not it's a fit for you, or you don't know what your niche is, or if what you want to package is packageable. All right, happy to answer those questions for you. Have a great and amazing rest of your day. But I just wanted to share from my heart with you, just something that I think is absolutely amazing. So I love you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Are you interested in packaging your knowledge into a high-ticket product on or offline? If your answer is yes, the Giant Experience is for you. Here's my story. I got started in my business over 20 years ago, and I simply made the decision to go to work as myself. And maybe you have been wondering how you can take all of those years of experience, your knowledge, or your degrees, and put them to use for yourself, and to package it into a monetizable structure. That was me 20 years ago. I wanted to figure out how to take my background as a corporate trainer, and I realized that so many women wanted to know exactly how I was able to write best-selling books, and having done partnerships with both Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 companies, and get signed to media, Emmy-nominated and nationally syndicated television shows as the mom strategist. And so I decided to equally transfer what I knew how to do to them. And I built out a coaching practice that today has coached thousands of women just like you, who are ambitious, smart, and sharp, highly actionable go-getters. And they wanted to figure out how they could go to work for themselves.